So it's so hard for me to imagine now what it's like to be always waiting for the future, to be always waiting for something else to happen. And I think I kind of forget to talk about that in my talk sometimes because it's so far from my reality, the idea that you're trying to arrive at another point. Like all you ever have is this point. That's your experience. Your experience isn't that you've got another point in time and that you're going to arrive at another point in time. You never arrive at another point in time. You just think you do. So you think you arrive at another point in time, but you never actually arrive at another moment in time. It's always thought. You're always now. No matter where you go, it's now, 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 now. So all the spiritual masters are always saying you've got to be in the now, but you cannot get out of the now. It's not like you've been anywhere else but now. You've never been anywhere else but here. And that's the reality of it. Shut my computer to give my phone or the internet. But most of the time, the mind is always trying to arrive, and it creates this energy in the body of what's called seeking. It's like this agitation that something isn't right here, that something isn't complete here, and that you need to arrive at a future state or a future place. And this game is addictive. When you were a child, you didn't have it. When you were a child, your mum gave you a set of keys, and you're like, you're so excited by the keys for hours and hours, and like just staring at the ceiling is really good. But then as you get older, you get into this mentality of more. I need a bigger experience. I need more experience. I need to do something else. I need better. And it creates this dynamic in the mind of firstly believing that you can get to the future, that you are going to arrive somewhere. But your feeling never is that you arrive. Your feeling is experience after experience after experiencing, but it's always now. It's always this moment. So your mind begins to produce this idea that it's going to arrive in the future, and then it has like this destination, like this thing that's going to make it be able to relax, whatever it might be, whether it be less work or completing an art project, or your boss leaving work, your workplace, or your parents suddenly acknowledging how wonderful you are, or you're getting a new car, or you get enough money, or you do this, and then suddenly you'll arrive and it will be over, and you can just be like, job done, it's complete. But this is like a never-ending game where you're constantly chasing after this place where you can rest. But it just gets worse because you never can actually arrive at this place called rest. You can never arrive at this place called completion. Like, I am going to arrive there and I'm going to get there. In fact, what's going to happen more than likely is you'll have your childhood, and this will get built more and more into you. And then you'll get to university and you'll have fun, but you'll still have this more and more. You've got to get a job, you've got to get a family. And then you'll leave and you'll have parties and fun, but then there's this, I must have a job, I must have a family, I must do this, I must have a great Instagram account. Then you'll get a family, and what will happen over time is you'll get more and more busy. You'll add more and more things that you've got to do. You've got to have 2 houses, one house in the south of France, one in England. You've got to have 10 dogs because you really love dogs. You've got to have 4 horses. You've got to have 6 children. You've got to have a constantly clean house. You've got to do all your own tax returns. You've got to run your own business. You have to go on holiday to Barbados every year. You have to do this, you have to do that. All these things you get into your mind that you have to do. And what actually happens from watching my friends is most of them just get more and more stressed over years. More and more anxiety, more and more discomfort, more feeling out of line with their body, losing contact with their sense of play and fun and excitement and vitality. And I just see them getting more and more exhausted. and like this constant struggle to try and keep up with life. And it starts from childhood, when you begin to believe that you're somebody inside this body. So you really have this like image, you create this idea of who you are, and then you believe that that person has to arrive somewhere in the future. And then you make your life so goddamn complicated. So goddamn complicated. Like you make things so stressful for yourself. And then you get into this mentality which is constantly being perpetuated of, I'm going to arrive, I've got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, going to arrive. And this constant fixation on arrival in the future. And you never arrive. And your heart gets broken even more. And you get into terrible conflicts with your partner because suddenly, instead of you're just here experiencing, your two egos or two identities meeting each other and trying to get to that place of arrival, and everything becomes super tense because neither of you can quite get there. And you do more things. You begin to cheat on your partner or lie to your partner or cover things up or hide things. And then you become further and further apart because both of you feel let down because you didn't arrive. An arrival is an idea, and it's a mentality. It's called seeking energy, and it will destroy your relationships, and it will destroy you, your body. It will exhaust you. You are never going to arrive. Everything you do is God. Everything you do is the divine. It's here right now, and whatever you're doing, this is where freedom is. In the sound of my voice, in the bum on the seat, in the coolness in the air, in the sound of Khaleesi growling. I don't know if you could hear that, she's growling because she can see there's people up there. So she sits on this balcony, it's so cute, and then she looks out of that window that I'm pointing at, and there's another one there, over there, and then she watches to see all the people coming and going on the street. Very good guard dog. So Khaleesi, whatever she does, she's totally present to what she does. She's not imagining, when she's chasing all the people that are walking on the street. She doesn't chase them, but she runs around the house to the different places that she can bark on them. When she's digging her bone, when we're going on a walk, when she's sitting on her bed, when I'm telling her it's bedtime, when she's playing in the garden, when she meets a friend, she's not imagining that she's going to arrive in the future. She's not doing it to arrive at a place of completion. That's such an abstract idea. It's only humans that have it. To her, that is all there is. In that moment, there is 100% digging. There is 100% barking. 100%. And she's not she's not like peaceful, like, oh, I'm not going to get stressed over these people. She's like full on like, wah, 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 you come to this garden and I'm going to rip your head off. Wah, wah, wah. She's full on serious. Like, there is going to be issues if they cross our boundaries. Very good guard dog. So she's not that she's like walking around like, I am a Buddha, I'm not going to bark, I'm not going to let them agitate me, no, even though they're coming too close, I'm not going to bark. She's just full on herself, like, rah, rah, rah. And in everything she does, she's not dividing herself, pulling herself back, looking at what she's doing, and then imagining being in a better place, and then feeling victim to the place that she's in. She is 100% barking, and she takes great pride in this job. And I'm sure when she's barking, like the motivation of bark, it's not a pleasant feeling prior. It's like, invader, invader. But she takes amazing care of going around marking her territory, letting people know, and defending our property. She's very proud to do that. And it's not about what feeling she can get out of it. She's not sitting there and she's like, what is this going to give me in the future? What am I going to get in the future? What's the point of this? What is the meaning of going around barking at things? What is the point of my life? Is this worthy? Am I a good enough dog? Am I worthy enough? Does this sort of reflect how great I am? Does this make people see my greatness? Why am I stuck with this job of barking? Surely that should be to smaller dogs, and I should be a more superior dog that does whatever you imagine her to do. She is just 100% happy being herself as she is in that moment. And she's not trying to be anything other than what she is. And this, to me, is a good life. This, to me, is everything you've ever wanted. Is a complete surrender to what's happening. And in what's happening, it's got this like magic to it, because it's seen that it's not actually you as a personality that's orchestrating this or experiencing this. The personality structure is something that's experienced, but there's something really mysterious in which is experiencing itself, and that's who you are. So there's a magic in that. And then on the human level, like, you're looking through this character. And I don't see it as like getting rid of the personality, the end of the personality dissolving, or coming to this place on the personal level of being enlightened. I like the story of that. I'm tempted. I'm like, oh, yeah, I like that story. I like the idea of being an enlightened human, but I don't see it like that. I think that the human can always expand and change, and there's always going to be an apparent personality structure. There's always going to be karma in these bodies. The Buddhists say that karma only goes in nirvana, and nirvana is when the physical body actually dies. So to me, I don't see that as going, and I just don't have that imagining of like, you're incomplete, you're not enlightened enough, you get irritated with people, you do this, you do that, you don't like it when this happens or that happens, therefore you're not enlightened enough and you have to work harder to become enlightened in the future. I don't think like that. If anything, I sometimes have the feelings like I want to confess everything, like I don't want to be some sort of teacher that sits there like hum ba la 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 la, hum ba la 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 la, looking like they're perfect. So if I have any dynamic going on, it's like I want to be overly honest, or maybe put myself down, or make myself sound quite a little maybe like neurotic or grumpy, so that people don't expect me or have this idea that what I'm talking about is some sort of perfect person. But I think that's a bit of a karma, like this wanting to be like super honest, like showing the heart. And sometimes some people come up to me and they're like, so what's it like being enlightened? Or now that you're enlightened, you don't feel this and you don't feel that. And I don't like that, because there's then that feeling like, how have I given you the impression that I don't have feelings or experience things? But the miraculous thing that did happen here, which is actually a nothing and most probably doesn't sound very interesting to anybody, is this absolute sinking into what you are. And there's some form of intimacy and joy and freedom in that what you are is this moment. It's quite magical, really, the simplicity of it. This is enough. This is enough. Whatever is happening, even if you're crying your eyes out because your heart's been broken, this is enough. So, I've forgotten the name of the title of the talk again, but it's something about, can you ever stop trying to get to this better place in time? So I don't think that you can as such. I think it's this energetic shift where it's seen that this is all there is, that this is who you are, that what happens now is the freedom, absolute freedom, and it's nothing appearing as everything. And that you're never going to arrive at that. It's your essence. It's here right now. And it's some sort of shift that happens, or recognition that happens, something which is like an absolute sinking into what you are. You could say it's the collapse of that seeking energy, that belief that the future is better. The future is going to bring you arrival. It's sort of a sinking back into yourself. This is a lie. And that's what keeps you in the dream of you, this idea that the future, that this imagined time is going to give you something. And all of your interactions, like your energy is like seeking from the heart. It's like always agitated, always trying to get somewhere. And it's like seeking from the pit of your guts, trying to get somewhere. Like in every interaction, you're trying to milk the cow's udder. Like your mother comes round and you're trying to milk her for some juicy experience, whether it be like get her to confess that she's a bad mother, or put her down, or revere her and put her up and make her feel wonderful and make you feel wonderful in response. There's always a trying to milk it rather than being with it as it is in all its complexities and vulnerabilities. And there's nothing wrong with seeking if that's the experience. It's just trying to point out the dynamic that's an illusion. It's an illusion that you're going to arrive. This is it. This is the joy. I don't know what else I can say. So maybe I can start talking about non-duality in the context of what that word means. So what non-duality means is not two, not divided, not two. So duality means that there is subject-object. And when you drop into your experience now, you begin to see that this isn't divided. The division comes from a mind splitting off and this constant image and story of you arising. Like that you're this and you're that and you've got to get to that, and you always have an image of yourself, and then you feel divided from the outside world. But your direct experience is non-division, is that you're not divided. Your direct experience is expansiveness, is this huge expansiveness that's totally empty. Like right here, right now, who are you? Like everything that you think about yourself is simply a thought that comes and goes in who you are, in your essence. So a thought comes up and goes, well, I am a man and I'm 52 years old and I live in America and I like potato chips. So that's a thought that comes and goes, and then you've got an image of yourself and a feeling of yourself, but that's not you. That's something that moves through. When you feel guilty of a particular feeling, when you feel angry of a particular feeling, but what's right here? What's right here? If you don't think about it, what's right here? What's still here as the thoughts come and go, like clouds, like ooh, 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 as they pass in through what's left, and then the feelings. So the feeling of guilt, or the feeling of tightness, or the feeling of soreness, or the feeling of tiredness. What else is there? Who are you? So that's non-duality, and that's the end of seeking, this energetic collapsing into that, this energy that believes that you're someone and is trying to move out of being this freedom. It's dividing. It makes you feel like you're limited inside of this body, that your behavior, that your way of being, that your feelings, that your ideas belong to this body. And that's why I feel like it's not necessarily the end of feelings or thinkings. It's the end of that energy which collects it inside the body and says, this is me, and this isn't enough. I feel incomplete. I need something else. Because of course you feel incomplete, because you're everything, you're wholeness, and then you feel like you're this limited form, this small part of reality. But your essence, your heart, is all of it. And this isn't meaning to sound arrogant. I can imagine it could sound quite narcissistic, like you're everything. It's actually ultimate humility, because it means that you're the arguments, anything that's happening, that you're the good people, the bad people, the news, the Brit exit, and it means that there's nothing happening to you. There is nothing happening to you. It is you. And it doesn't mean you as a character. So if the character's like, oh, Yes, I always thought I was more than just myself. I always thought I was everything. The character is an apparent limitation, like the chair is. It's like the chair believing that it is the wall and the room, and but it means on the essence, like the experience of the consciousness that cannot be proud, that cannot be embarrassed or shamed or believe it's wrong, is free, is everything. And then in that, there's a personality that interprets it and then's like, I love that. Yes, of course I'm everything. Let me go onto YouTube and tell everybody I am God. That felt so nice. And I know it's not the appropriate thing to do as a speaker, but suddenly I just got lost in how good that felt. It's got a little bit of lemon in there. It's like an absolute sinking into yourself that every part of you is okay, and every part of this is live speaking. That's so intense, lemon. Okay, right, I just realised that men found that sexual. Okay, that was not my intention. Maybe some people are like, yeah, she's doing that for the men. Wasn't my intention. I'll just sit here like this now. Actually hurts my face. Okay, to the questions, because I seem to be losing focus. When you just got a camera in front of you, it can sometimes be a little challenging to stay on track.